You guys are watching the Cowboys Report, made possible today by Manscaped. Spooky season is here, and it's trick or trim with Manscaped, and you probably want to go with the trim in the end, right? 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code COWBOYS over at manscaped.com. Let's talk trade rumors now for America's team. A lot of different ideas out there. ESPN, Dan Orlovsky, our frenemy, suggested the Cowboys make a trade for DJ Moore. He said teams like the Packers, the Titans got a call about DJ Moore, and I'm fine with calling about DJ Moore. That is, in the words of Stephen Jones, doing your due diligence. Hey, Carolina, what do you want for DJ Moore? They are in sell mode. They traded away Robbie Anderson. As we'll get into, there are some problems with the DJ Moore trade. But wouldn't it be nice if they got a dynamic playmaker such as DJ Moore? He has had a down year. Make no mistake. 20 catches for 204 yards. The offense, led by former Cowboys coach Ben McAdoo, is offensive to garbage. It's that bad. It's a complete nightmare. But DJ Moore historically has been awesome. Not much of a touchdown guy. Again, the quarterbacks have been bad in Carolina. You get DJ Moore with Dak Prescott, and hell, maybe with Cooper Rush, way better than what he's had previously. 1,000-yard player. Honestly, he's not a number 3 for Dallas. He's a 1A, 1B. Like, that's how good DJ Moore is. He's also only 25, by the way. And the age and the value is why it doesn't actually make sense for the Panthers to trade away DJ Moore. The cap savings cap hit, I will make note, by the way, is the overall season. So it's actually less than that because you owe the base salary. So it's 104 divided by 17 times whatever games are left, 8, whatever. So half of that is what would be owed. Every team can afford it. The Panthers save $10 million next year, but like DJ Moore is really good. Any pick you would get back, you would then have to flip around and spend on another new receiver who you're hoping is as good as DJ Moore. It doesn't make sense for Carolina. The Cowboys can afford this, right? $17.42 million per year over the final 3 years of his deal, and super cheap this year. I'm all for that. Like that's less than Amari Cooper for a better young talent. Now the issue is, I don't believe he's available, despite what people might want him to be. I would be shocked if he got dealt. If he does get dealt, it needs to be the A.J. Brown trade. First and a third. That is the value that should be demanded from Carolina if they were going to trade away DJ Moore. But he's 25. I wouldn't do it. In the dream hypothetical, would you trade your first-round pick for DJ Moore? Why for yes and for no? I'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. Sound off for me in the comments section. Let's talk Kadarius Toney now. Now, I'll make note. Michael Balco, Twitter guy, sucks. He's not good. He just throws shit at the wall and says people are available. He said Toney was available. I give him no credit because he just guesses and makes stuff up. But Toney could be available from a logical standpoint. He's shown flashes when healthy, but he's never actually healthy. Toney has been, as I talk with my boy Marshall Green all the time about him, he's been a bit of a problem child. He's a first-round pick. The Giants are going to take Devonta Smith. The Eagles trade up. Cowboys trade down. They take Toney there. He's basically played in about 50% of his team's games in a year and a half-ish. There's no production from Toney, but when he's out there, you can see it. He's electric with the football. He'd be so much fun, but I have doubts about the Giants giving up so quickly. And if that's a guy you want on your team, the guy has hamstrings made of soft tissue paper. He's just never healthy. And maybe it changes out of New York, but he's got 2 different hamstring injuries right now. Both hamstrings are bothering him. It's borderline unheard of. So I don't mind looking at wide receiver help. I'm down with that. Upgrade it from what you have right now. Toney could be an upgrade. I simply, in the end, don't trust him to actually be out there from that perspective. All right, folks, get 20% off and free shipping with promo code Cowboys at manscaped.com. Say trick or treat to your beautiful new Halloweeny. It's Halloween, but dick. With Manscaped, 20% off and free shipping with promo code Cowboys over at manscaped.com. When you're trimming your balls, it's Halloween season, but that's not the time you want to have a Freddy Krueger film. The Performance Package 4.0 is the best one they have out there. The most comfortable boxers known to mankind. I'm wearing them right now. I'm not going to show it to you. Don't worry. The Weed Whacker, the Lawnmower 4.0, everything. It's a fantastic deal. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. This next one's, I don't know if interesting is the right word, but I'll go with that. Matt Lombardo, who, it's fine, said the Cowboys should trade away Cooper Rush. And he pitched Rush as a backup or a new long-term solution for a couple different teams. Now, to be fair, this came out before Sunday Night Football where Rush didn't have it. Here were the 3 trade ideas and destinations, I should say, for Cooper Rush. The 49ers, get a new backup quarterback in there. See, the Seattle Seahawks, maybe he replaces Geno after next year. The Miami Dolphins, because of all their injuries. I kind of get that one there. And Lombardo also threw in a trade idea. The Niners get Cooper Rush, and the Cowboys get a 3rd or a 4th round pick for your backup. Who you cut a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. I'm in. Where do I sign? Like, I'm very happy with Cooper Rush. The Niners say no. No one's giving him a 3rd round pick for Cooper Rush. I'm sorry. I do it. The 49ers don't. You guys let me know who you think says no. 4 for the Niners, C for the Cowboys. I am very happy with the job Cooper Rush has done. If I can get a 3rd round pick for him for a half year of Cooper Rush, let's ride. 4 for the Niners, C for the Cowboys. Who says no? Now, I'll make this point too. You're not going to get an actual real package back trade-wise, but if you got an offer, I wouldn't just take anyone. You know, like Cooper Rush did a really good job as a backup QB, and I am over the moon with how the team as a unit played. That team could have collapsed. Credit to Mike. And you know what? Credit for Cooper Rush. That could have been a sinking ship that he is suddenly the captain of, and through no fault of his own, it all collapses. Instead, he was able to stabilize it. He patched the leak, if you will. Now, still leaking a little bit. You need Dak to come back in there, but Rush did a great job as a backup. And I was terrified of him out there. Hell, there is a very real outcome, folks, that if and this multiverse exists, if Will Grier didn't get hurt before the first preseason game, there's a really good chance Will Grier would have been your backup QB this year. Ended up not happening that way, and the Cowboys got to roll with Rush, and they had great success win-loss-wise. So I'm not going to give him away for nothing because I have confidence in Rush being able to guide the Cowboys for a few games in the event Dak gets hurt. So I'm not going to just trade him away for anything. That's not the route that I really want to go. Now, if you are a true Cowboys fan, show it by hitting that big red button and subscribing. We have trade rumors all the time for you guys. It's being talked about, what's being linked, who the Cowboys are tied to. We've got you guys covered up until trade deadline day. Hit that big red button and subscribe. Our next trade rumor comes from an NFC East executive, alleged NFC East exec, to The Athletic about the Cowboys. They need an explosive play outlet. Tony Pollard's been good on the perimeter and in the screen game, which they're actually not calling the screens this year, so I don't know about that one. But they can find a tight end or someone that can create the mismatch that takes their offense to a different place. So I do agree that the Cowboys are missing that explosive play option. I think having a backup QB in there hurts you. Teams are playing too high shell stuff, which helps take away the explosive plays. That's how it tends to work. What you want, I think what they're saying is they want an explosive yak after the catch creator, whether yards after the catch, run, or whatever it is. They want the after the catch guy. It's not Gallup's game. He's a vertical threat. Lamb can do it when he's not making mistakes that he shouldn't make. Pollard can, but Dalton Schultz is not that guy. You know, Schultz will get a couple of yards for you after the catch, but he's never going to be the, like, game-breaking, athletic, make-you-miss tight end. Frankly, Ferguson showed the one nice move, but he's more of a Schultz caliber athlete. Hendershot is maybe a little bit better, but pretty similar there. Here's the issue. You want the explosive playmaker at tight end. There aren't any out there. Mike Gesicki is maybe available, but if we're mad about the way Dalton Schultz blocks, you don't want to watch Mike Gesicki block. That is bad. You get the way we act like Schultz blocks is how Gesicki actually does. He's terrible, and he's expensive too. It's not great. Albert Okwuegbunam is an interesting piece. The Missouri guy. Several of you guys like him. I know from our draft coverage a couple years ago. Hasn't done much for Denver though. Is he just a bust? Foster Moreau fits the same category as Schultz and Ferguson. Like, they're just not dynamic. Adam Trautman, bit banged up right now, has been a bit of a bust. So I would, in an ideal world, yes, give me the dynamic playmaking all-around tight end. I think there's one available. So with that in mind, will the Cowboys make a trade? One for yes, 0 for no. Head down to the comments section and sound off for me. Our last trade rumor, Trysten Hill. Yeah, right. Pro Football Network labeled Hill as the top trade candidate for the Cowboys, who are buyers this year. I don't like this one. The Cowboys, simply put, with John Ridgeway gone, he's on the Commanders now, they don't have great depth at defensive tackle. The idea was, I'll give him credit, was you flip him for an asset somewhere else, like player-wise. I'm more amenable to that. Hill's actually been solidish this year. Not, second-round pick good enough, but, not a liability, which at this point I'll take since, he hasn't been out there all that much either. The issue is you've got Odigizua, who's flashed. Bohanna's your fatty. But Neville Gallimore has not broken out the way I thought he was going to so far this year. You trade away Hill, you're down to 3 tackles. Now, you can call up Carlos Watkins. That's fine. But I don't want to get that thin unless I'm getting something valuable back, whether it's a package or not, in a trade. So, honestly, unless it's really good, you're fine keeping Hill.